Guys, deluded. YouTube's Lucas Torreira, YouTube's N'Golo Kante, and all of them things. I'm back again. Thank you very much for having me. And if you haven't watched before, thank you for tuning in. You might as well hit the subscribe and the like button and follow my socials because, yeah, I'm the best. But moving on now, obviously, I've got home now. I've had my dinner. I've chilled off. I've watched EastEnders and that, and I've watched a couple other stuff on YouTube. And I've come across some comments after viewing Sky Sports, their website. Big Sam Allardyce. Now he's spoken in regards to Unai Emery, and he hasn't said much, but he said a lot. And I do think you lot can make of it what you will. If not, just go on Sky Sports and look. If you haven't, make on his comments what you will. But it did leave a sour taste in my mouth, really and truly, because it's just. I don't know really. For what it's worth, first and foremost, I don't disagree necessarily with what he actually said, but he said a lot. I don't necessarily agree with his point in that we were trying to play out from the back. I like to see that we was trying to play out from the back and our players didn't get scared and still like to play it. But by that same logic, I also believe players should be a bit street smart. And I've made videos about that one before. I don't think players nowadays are as active thinkers as street smart and reading situations when you can and can't implement stuff and changing it for the better quick enough. But it did annoy me how he was questioning the tactics of playing out from the back, saying people broadly based are obsessed with it in football and things like that and making their centre halves pull out. Again, I don't necessarily disagree with that, but the tone and the language and the timing is poor taste and it's a bit bitter and it's a bit... come on, Big Sam, fix up, man. For someone that is labelled a dinosaur and all of these things, you would think you of all people would know how it feels for someone to be on your back and things like that. I just find this cheeky. As Phil McNulty tweeted as well, hey, your Everton side, when you went to Manchester City, or when you played Manchester City in March, you lot had 3-0 down at half time. They had 82% possession. They had 82% possession. I believe that's the most since records begun. Now, I'm no stats man, but you sound like a hypocrite criticising Unai Emery for that then. By your logic, what did you want us to do? Did you want us to just keep kicking it up the field? It doesn't matter. This City team is a different beast. We're not making excuses. We lost at the same time. But this City team is clearly a class above us and many teams. No, whatever in it, we aspire to be like them. But you're damned if you do and damned if you won't. You have to play out from the back against City. Liverpool, probably out of all the big teams or all the teams in the Premier League, probably the most confident when it comes to playing City is Liverpool. They still played out from the back. We pressed. We actually, you saw an improvement with us pressing high. So what you're talking about is tactics and things. Back to Liverpool. They still play out from the back. They're not just hoofing it and trying to have a go at City. Because why? If City are so skilled in possession and movement and things like that, why are you going to give the ball straight back to them? Like I said, I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying. I believe in balance. You try and play out from the back. By the times when it just needs to go long, it needs to go long. You even saw when Czech, just not to dig out Czech necessarily, but to prove a point, when his distribution was a bit off and it was booted into places it didn't need to be, it was going straight back to City and they were coming and piling us again and again. If they're so great on the ball and their movement is so good, like I tried to say, why would we gift them back the ball? Why would we gift them back the ball? Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? If they're just going to keep piling up on us, they're a great side without the ball. They're damn well a good side with it. Do you want to keep giving them the ball? If we just keep kicking it to them, they're just going to pile on top of us and come higher up the field. You're a manager. You know more about football than me, so you know this yourself. I don't need you as a centre half or whatever. I don't even care. But you should know if they're piling on top of us, what are them centre halves going to do? Or what is Pep going to tell them to do? Come higher up the field. If they're higher up the field and we're doing that, that means they're going to have more chances and we're going to be camped in our own half even more. Because if we're just booting it long, like you saw, Aubameyang kind of struggles bringing it down in the air and stuff, it's just going to trouble us. Like I said, I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying, but you're talking nonsense. And to a degree, it is in poor taste for someone that, again, myself included, call you a dinosaur and things like that. But by the same logic, that narrative is false because you're big on technology and things like that. But it's sour taste for someone who, like I just told you about what happened with City when you played them. It's cheeky. It's really cheeky. It's cheeky. Like I saw someone tweet, it's like Nickers. It's like, of course, I'm not saying Unai is the best manager in the world, but I'm defending my man because what you doing? You're judging my man based on one game. It's a bit like Nicholas Bentner saying he's a better goal scorer than Ronaldo or them sort of things. Who are you to criticise Unai Emery? I'm just an armchair fan football lover. Like I said, you got more qualifications. You've done more in football than I'll ever hope to do. But you're coming out and saying nonsense, and this is why I expect more of you. Because even if you look at what you've won, he's won 3 Europa Leagues. He's won 3 Europa Leagues. He's won about 4 cup trophies in France, and excluding the league cup, the actual league title, which he's walked away with. He's been named European Manager of the Year. He, like I said, 3 Europa League titles and other achievements. He's held in high regard by a couple of his early Spanish clubs. What have you done? Yeah, you've got promotion with West Ham and Bolton. They're fantastic achievements. But past that, what is it? Winning Irish First Division. Who are you to critique this man? Especially one game before in. Like, come on, there's a fine line between critiquing to label it stupid is silly. That's the language. Like, if you question the tactic, that's fine, but you call it, to label it stupid just stinks of you know better when you clearly don't, or you'd still be managing in the Premier League or with England or whatever. Like I said, I don't necessarily disagree with what everything he said, but it just felt like it's in poor taste. Like you saw with Czech's kicking. What does it make any sense? I would actually love Big Sam to expand on this and come out and say what he would have done then, to be honest with you. Because you're saying don't play out from the back. What do you want us to do against City then? What do you want us to do? They're faster than us. They're probably stronger than us. They're better tactically than us, or better organised in and out of possession than us. So why are we going to make their job even harder by giving them the ball? You cannot sit off City. You cannot be compact and stuff. That's why you got smoked 3-0. And even if you want to be technical, that's why you got smoked 3-0. And that's why we lost by 2 or whatever. Obviously, I'm so sure you've beat City before, so give him your props where it's due. But like, come on, man, it's just sour. It's just sour taste, man. It really is. Like, oh man, like it's for someone. I understand you're a long ball merchant and things like that, but come on, like it was just sour taste, man. It was just cheeky. We could have done a lot right against. We done a lot wrong against Manchester City. I feel we people are talking in extremes. I feel we did a bit better than how we've personally played against City. A lot of times there was positives in regards to actually playing out from the back when it actually worked. Our centre halves actually walked away from that game unscathed. Certain players could have done better in midfield, but they stood up to be counted in with Daisy. The high pressing, we forced City to make some mistakes. They were sleeping and they need to up their standards by just Pep Guardiola won't be happy with that. But there were some small positives for Arsenal to take. There's not many, and for every 7 positives or whatever, that's such a random number. For every 4 or 5 positives I've just said, there's 10 other things we can look at which we could have done better because we lost that game. If we don't win, you need to look at what you've done. But away from that, it's a man's first. Come on. As a manager, you've no doubt been questioned before. You've no doubt been in this position where, not that I'm not saying Unai Emery is not well known, but in the sense that it's Unai Emery who, as people are looking at him with cynicism and with a lens of skepticism and things, you'd think you'd have a bit more class or a bit more understanding, because no one thought you should get the England job, let alone get the Everton job. People thought you was done out here, really and truly. So come on, man. You can do better. You should do better. I got nothing more to say. On that note, guys, deluded, get in the comments, subscribe, do the rest, man. Thank you very much for staying with me and tuning in. I'm out.